Good evening. Welcome to another episode of the show presented by Kala in association with Let's Talk. Let's Talk is creating safe spaces through shared conversations. Let me tell you that today's episode is also being recorded, and the recording will be available, will be uploaded on Kala's YouTube channel at Sanjay Chandra 5376 later. Let me also once again remind you that Kala is preparing to organize the third edition of the Kala Literature Festival on 7th and 8th February 2026. The venue will be Civil Services Officers Institute, that is CSOI, at Vinay Marg, New Delhi. So we are looking forward to meeting you, to seeing you all there. Now back to the show. Let me introduce to you the moderator for the evening. That is Vardhan Dharkar for you. Vardhan brings with him over 3 decades of leadership experience, along with a deep engagement with India's spiritual, cultural, and philosophical traditions. His reflective approach and thoughtful moderation create space for conversations that are both insightful and deeply human. So, welcome to the show, Vardhan.
Thank you so much.
Now, in conversation with Vardhan is Dr. Saroj Dubey. Welcome to the show, Dr. Saroj.
Thank you so much, Sanjay ji.
Thank you for being here with us, Dr. Saroj Dubey. Let me give a brief and quick introduction. Dr. Saroj Dubey is a practicing senior consultant gastroenterologist, TEDx speaker, mindfulness practitioner, and the author of RX for Resilience. Drawing from both his medical practice and deeply personal experiences, Dr. Dubey explores how embracing the present moment, especially during life's most challenging phases, can become a source of resilience, clarity, and quiet joy. So we invite you to settle in and join us for this reflective and enriching conversation on the show presented by Kala in association with Let's Talk. Over to you, Vardhan. Over to you, Dr. Saroj.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sanjay, for your introduction. And namaste to all our viewers in Bharat and outside of Bharat. Welcome to the first episode of 2026 of the show. And indeed, we are privileged to have a very distinguished guest today on our show, Dr. Saroj Dubey. Welcome to the show, Doctor.
Thank you so much, Vardhan ji. It's indeed an honor to be with you and Sanjay ji on the show. I'm a huge admirer of both your work and the show, and I would love to participate in the talk today.
Thank you so much. And there is so much to talk. So let's begin our conversation without any further wasting of time.
Absolutely.
Perfect. So, as Sanjay mentioned, you are author, you are inspirational speaker, leadership transformation coach, and founder and director of the Center for Transformational Presence. So many things on your plate, and I really envy you for all of these things that you do. How do you do justice to all of these things when each of these activity could be a full-time profession? How do you manage your time?
No, that's such a wonderful introduction. So yeah, I'm a doctor by profession actually. I'm a gastroenterologist, and I've been working for the last, say, 25, 30 years as a gastroenterologist and a specialist consultant. So the other things, this the part of writing and all these mindfulness teaching and mindfulness practice came a bit later on. I would say, like in the book also I mentioned, and some of my viewers may know that there was a very kind of a life transforming incident which had happened with regard to a patient. And at that time, I was anyway exploring deeply about life and, introspecting a lot about things in general, about happiness, what is temporary, what is permanent. And when this incident happened, it actually, totally jolted me out of a kind of a slumber. I thought that I had been living a very superficial kind of life, and for a long period, I did a lot of, introspection, meditation, met teachers. I went on a journey for many years. And what emerged from that is actually what came out in the book. And the other things, like being a mindful teacher, actually, this transformational coach is just a part. I'm not a full time coach or anything. But, when people ask for guidance and all that, then I'm always there to support them and help them. So, all these things kind of took place as a, I would say, as a offshoot of, whatever experiences had taken place, like the TEDx talk also. When I had written the book, then some of my colleagues wanted to, they told me that, we don't have much time. How do busy professionals, how do people who don't have much time, like you do a lot of meditation and mindfulness, but that's not possible for everyone. How can we, in our busy lives, take some time out, take some, pauses so that we can bring more happiness and joy? And that is what the TEDx talk was all about. So I would say it's a kind of a seamless, there's no particular boundary. Things happen. I'm still a full time doctor and a medical professional, but these are things which, bring a lot of joy and happiness to me, especially when there are people who want some guidance on how to, lead a more fulfilling life.
Okay, perfect. I think the way you explained it was really nice. And actually, that should help all of us to make sure that we are able to do things that we should be doing rather than finding out excuses for not doing.
That's very true. That's very true. And I think a lot of people would learn a lot from you and Sanjay ji also about, how to, like you all have led a corporate life for so many years, and then you were able to, change very effortlessly and, bring your passion alive. And this is what I would say, even if I can just add a point here, like a lot of people, once I wrote the book, many people came and asked me, where did you get the time? And I started thinking, and I was actually shocked myself, because like gastroenterology is quite a busy profession, and we have, night calls, we have patients who have bleeding emergencies, severe pain. So it's not as if, you're sitting at home all the time. We have to, even in during night call duties, we have to go at odd hours in the night and do things. And what I realize is, and I've mentioned also in one of the chapters, the magic of habits in my book. So, one of the things which inspired me was, I'm sure you must have read or heard about James Clear's book, The Atomic Habits. So that when I was in the process of just thinking about writing the book, and I was wondering how will I find the time. So there was somewhere where I came across that, you what we need to do is to, start with small steps. Sometimes we think, okay, if I get 1 month off, I'll start the book or something like that. Then when I thought about it, I realized that I'm never going to be in a position where I have a lot of time to myself, where I can just dedicate it to the book. So what I decided is that I made a kind of a promise to myself that I'll start very small with the goal of writing 100 words a day. That I thought, I'll let me start with that and let us see where it leads me. Even if it takes 3 years, at least something will come out of it. So I said, okay, 100 words, and then I started 100 words, sometimes 50. Then when a Sunday came where I was relatively free, I wrote maybe 1,000 words. What happened over a period of time is suddenly ki after say a few days you've got 2,000 words on your wherever laptop or something, and that gave me the momentum. I said, okay, I think this is something which I can do. So then so there were days where maybe I could not write at all, or some days where I even wrote 2,000 words. The fact is, and this is what I would like to share with the readers also, or aspiring readers, is that you just start with small steps. Whatever, it's not about just writing, it can be exercise, it can be the practice of mindfulness or meditation, whatever. Even if, like, some of my some people who ask me, okay, I don't have time, I'm very busy, how can I take out time for meditation? I say, do you have 5 minutes a day? I'm sure you must be having 5 minutes a day. So do that, but do it consistently, so that it becomes a kind of a ingrained as a habit, and then you see from where time is going to develop. So once you start doing it and you see the momentum building up, you yourself will able to fit in the time for that.
I think I completely can relate with what you have been saying. And one of the things that I have understood or I have learned in my life is that when we say we don't have time, it actually means it is not my priority.
Absolutely, very true, very true. Because we often, for example, I'll tell you, like, I'm a gastroenterologist, so there's a patient who came to me with fatty liver disease. He was quite obese, and his test showed that there was some fibrosis also. So I told him that you have to urgently lose weight. Then he said, "Oh, Doctor Saab, I'm a very busy professional. I don't have time for exercise and all." So I told him, Ki, what if I told you that you have got only 6 months to live? Then will you find time? Then suddenly he, said, "Is it that serious?" I said, "It can be, because it's now stage 3 or 4 fibrosis. If it develops, if it goes into cirrhosis, then that it means 80% of your liver is damaged. Then also, will you say the same thing, that I don't have time?" So then, he said, and after a few weeks, he came to me and said, "Ki, Dr. Saab, I'm doing 1 hour of exercise every day. I'm feeling so energetic and fit." I said, "Where did this time come from?" He said, then he was a bit sheepish and said, Ki, "Yeah, it's all excuses." So as you were saying, Ki, if you make it your priority, if you have that intention and, that motivation that I've got to do, you are going to get time.
I completely agree. Completely agree with you. So, my next question to you is that since you are a doctor treating physical illness as also a mindfulness coach, how much impact mind has on physical health, and how much impact physical health has on the health of mind?
That's a very good question, Vardhiji. And in fact, being a gastroenterologist, we get a lot of patients of stomach issues, irritable bowel syndromes, gastritis, and you'll be surprised to know that almost 80% of patients who come to us, especially in the OPD, their symptoms are some way or the other related to stress and anxiety.
Hmm.
Because the brain and the gut, they are so closely related. And over last, I would say, 2 3 years, there's been a lot, a plethora of literature which is showing the same thing. And now, in fact, the gut has been named as the second brain, because there are messengers which travel from our brain to the gut, and there is a constant interplay of information, hormone interaction, messengers, and our gut flora also has a lot to do with the state of our mind. So your question about how much importance the mind has on the gut or any kind of physical symptoms, because it's not just the gut. A lot of even my friends who are in colleagues in cardiology, neurology, they for them also, if not 80%, 60 or 70% of the symptoms are related to stress and anxiety. And we can see it when we, for example, when we are feeling stressed, when we feel anxious, then we can see how our body reacts, how it contracts. our stomach is rumbling, there, we feel the urge to go to the loo and things like that. So a lot of patients, especially young people, when the during that exam period they come with unexplained vomiting and abdominal pain, the parents are very anxious and worried, and I tell them that don't worry, this is stress. Although of course we do all the necessary tests, it doesn't mean that without tests you're just saying something. We do the tests. When the tests are normal, I tell them that just support them. Once the exam is over, you'll see how they'll recover, and that is what happens. So definitely our mind plays a lot of role. And of course vice versa is very true, because when we are physically, when we feel physically active, energetic, then our mind also, it becomes not only more focused, sharper, we feel more invigorated, and we feel our thinking is sharper and more insightful also.
So both mind and body are two wheels which we need to keep well oiled and well taken care of.
Absolutely, and in fact I'm very glad that now the mind is getting its due sort of credit and due attention. So it's not as if the body is separate and the mind, they are always in synchronization, they are always in harmony. And a body has both the parasympathetic as well as a sympathetic nervous system. So the sympathetic nervous system is the the fight, flight, freeze kind of thing. For example, if there is some danger, our body heartbeat starts racing, our BP starts going up and things like that. But what is also very important is the parasympathetic system, because they are like brakes in our system. And that slowing down, pausing, taking those moments to relax, that is actually very effective. So any kind of practice which makes our body get into the parasympathetic system, where we relax, be a little still, whether it is for few minutes a day, that actually nourishes the body a lot. So we need both of these things. And for example, in the TEDx talk, I talked about the art of doing and being. So more and more we are in that doing mode, where we are constantly getting things done, we are doing and all, but we very rarely come back to that being mode. And to really to prevent burnout, to prevent stress, to prevent any kind of injury to our system, we need to integrate these things. And along with our doing and along with our activity, we need those moments of pause, moments of rest, where we become a little still and silent again.
So what role does the diet play in physical and mental well-being?
The diet is very important, because and uh, we can see there are few things which I can outline. One is the more than what we are eating also is our timing of eating. And especially in the urban households nowadays, and especially with the corporate lifestyle and all, people are eating dinner especially very late. And what happens as a result of that is that food becomes stored up, fat stores up in the body, because the body goes into the storage kind of mode. And that is the cause of a lot of illnesses, obesity leading to diabetes, hypertension and all that. So not only what we are eating, but judicious timing of eating, especially keeping our dinner a bit early and a bit light, that is so important. And the amount of fruits, vegetables, fibers, fermented foods that are there in our diet, actually all that helps in keeping the gut microbiota very healthy. And the
Okay.
gut microbiota has become a very important part. And a healthy gut actually has a healthy microbiota, which, and all these things, especially fruits, vegetables, salads, these are the things which keep our gut healthy. And because of that, we can have a more holistic lifestyle.
So one more question before we move to your book is that what role does the hobbies and sports play in the well-being of an individual?
Oh, that's very nice and a very important question. You- in the book also I mentioned, and in my talk also, one point I mentioned, which is about flow. You may must have heard the term flow, which was given by the Hungarian psychologist Micheli Csikszentmihalyi many years ago. He wrote a book on flow also. It is something which, where we are so absorbed in an activity that we lose all sense of time or place, and our hobbies actually make us into come into that flow mode. Suppose you are doing something, you are maybe reading a book or pursuing some music or sports or something, then you lose all sense of time. Means you'll be spending 2 3 hours and it feels as if it's just only minutes. So these are the things which bring us into that flow mode. And
Mm.
nowadays there's a lot of literature about how flow increases not only our happiness and well-being, it increases our longevity also. There are studies which show that when we take out some time, maybe if you are busy you won't have much time, but even maybe 10 minutes a day, half an hour a day, or maybe 1 hour in a week also, for our hobbies, for our passions, for our our reading or whatever we want to do, then it increases our flow. And
Mm.
there is, in fact, I recently came across something which is a flow genome project, where some people are studying, actively studying what is flow, how we can cultivate it, how there can be group flow, like in a set of employees in corporates and all, what are the activities which bring them into flow. So that is a very important factor, where and I'm sure you must be agreeing with it.
Very interesting and very true what you have said. In fact, if you spend little time on your hobbies or sports, your productivity in other activities will dramatically shoot up.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Because when you are, pursuing your hobbies and your, interests, so you feel more alive, you feel more vibrant, you feel more energized and happy, and that will be definitely, it's going to reflect on whatever other work you are going to do, your professional work, as well as your personal life, the way you are interacting with your spouse, with your parents, with your kids, everything is going to be because once you are feeling that sense of well-being and happiness, it is going to touch each and every sphere.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this interesting conversation. Coming to your book, is that
Mhm.
why you felt an urge to write this book?
Aha. So Vardhanji, when I this, as I said, this whole journey, it was for a period of say 8 to 9 years, and kind of still going on. So at one point of time, there something in me, there was something which told me that why don't you share whatever you have experienced with other people. Initially I thought, what is there for, there's nothing which is very special that I have encountered, things like suffering, grief, and all, we all, people encounter it, and there are so many books which are written about it. And in the process of embracing whatever was happening, embracing my emotions, to navigate these difficult situations and experiencing, I would say, freedom and joy after that. So I thought that there is nothing new in what I am writing. But then I came across someone's writing where she had mentioned that most of the books have something which has been told before, but it may never have been told in your own voice, your
Mm.
own experience, and that may be important to someone else.
Mm.
Maybe my experience in this particular case, maybe things what I had dealt, the way I dealt with, must have been written in some other book also, but maybe the way I am going to express it, it may touch the life of some person. And I thought that even if it helps, or even if it helps even one or two people to make a difference in their lives, then it is worth it. So because of that, I was inspired to write it. I thought, chalo, let me just share whatever I have experienced, in my own words, to other people. And this is the result of how the book came about. And I was very happy after that, because a lot of people, after that, now the book has been there for around 1.5 years, a lot of people came and said, this is what we were experiencing, this is what I have been also dealing, I never thought that someone else was also dealing with this. And I realized that's why, and after that I've encouraged many of my even friends and all that, you know whatever you are there, whatever you have to share, it may be important to someone else. So, don't hesitate in expressing whatever is happening to you. Also, don't be afraid of exposing your vulnerability. Like in this case, it was a very personal episode where a patient who had treated had died, and all the consequences after that. So it was a extremely, I would say, a vulnerable place where I was touching. But vulnerability actually brings people closer together, because we all often share the same kind of pain and emotions. And so that is why I thought, let me just share it with people.
So, was it very difficult when you started this process of writing, since it was something which was your personal experience that you were sharing, the difficult phase of your life that you were sharing? Was it very difficult for you to put it down on piece of paper and share it with others?
Yes, I must say that it was very difficult. And initially, when I was writing, I think I must have, around after 25% of what I had written, at some point, I just stopped. I thought I can't share this, because I'm a medical doctor. I'm an active, doctor, and I was open to judgment, and and criticism. What would people say? It's not as if I have retired, or now I can just share what had happened many years ago. It's something, because I'm still a busy doctor. So I was, for some time I thought, I can't share this right now. Maybe after 5 years or 10 years. But then again I said, it's not about, it's not about trying to hide something or trying to suppress something. It is just about how we are able to embrace our emotions, how we are able to embrace and be present with the difficult moments in our lives. And I'm sure that my experience would help someone else. I remember reading somewhere in some book that, don't waste your suffering, because actually
Yeah.
suffering is a very important gateway, and it can open the doors to a wider space, and more happiness once you are able to transcend it. So that suffering should not go in waste. And I thought, okay, this suffering, which has kind of, it has transformed my life and showed me a lot of, after that it has brought a lot of happiness and joy. Why not try to share it, and maybe it can help others also. So
I
your
must
question about how difficult it was, yeah, it was very difficult. And but I'm very glad that I was able to get the strength to do it.
I must compliment you for your courage of conviction that you decided to go ahead and share your thoughts and your experience with the world outside. Uh,
Thank you so much.
one question, or one thing I wanted to know from you is that any feedback that you received after someone who read the book and felt that this book has made an impact on him, or it has changed his life.
Yes, yes. So I'm very actually happy about some of my readers, some of their mails or messages which came. And there was one lady who was going through a painful divorce. And she said that after reading the book, she was trying to avoid all the pain that she was going through, and trying to suppress it, and kind of distract herself from that. But she said that reading my book made her realize and gave her the courage to embrace whatever was happening, not try to suppress it, just be open with it. And she said that my book has had given her the strength and the courage to just face it all. And she said that doing that has helped her a lot. So that was something which really, I would say, it made my day, and it made it worth writing. And other quite a few other readers also have said that just those small tips which I have given about, the small pauses throughout the day, and just being present, just being open,
Mhm.
allowing ourselves to feel the emotions. These have really changed their way of thinking and changed their lives.
I think it must have made you happy that the decision that you took of sharing your experience with others has actually been a correct decision. It helped the world beyond you.
Yes, so and actually it is just I would say it is not something which probably I did by my own this thing. It is all grace and blessing, somewhere, because as I said, at one point of time I had stopped writing for a few weeks. I said no, I can't go any further, but something kept me nudging. So it's all grace and blessing. And you'd have seen in your life also, there's some books which move you so much and transform you. And there's so many books like The Power of Now or Pema Chodron's book about When Things Fall Apart. When I read it, it made such an impact on me. And I felt that even if, one person would be impacted, that would really, be enough for me.
Indeed, that's really true. So maybe at this point of time, you can very briefly talk about the book so that our readers would have a better understanding of the book RX for Resilience.
Oh, yes, sure. So, the title RX is like what doctors write for prescription. It's, Latin term RX for prescription. We start a prescription by RX, and then we give the medication. So here, my prescription is about resilience. And what I try to convey in the book is that, when we are able to be present and aware with all our emotions and all the feelings, actually that is the most important part of our resilience, and it helps most in bouncing back. And in the book I describe a situation which happened where a patient who had done an endoscopic procedure unfortunately developed some complications and died. And
Mm,
the moments, the period after that, where I was filled with guilt and fear and sadness, although it was something which happened not due to negligence, but just a complication which could not be avoided. And
mm,
in the process, actually, I could go deeper into what I would say my real identity was, and being able to get insight into something which is deeper than our thoughts and emotions. And being present with all our emotions actually helps us gain into a vast spaciousness within, and
mm,
that is the source of our joy and happiness. So in the
mm,
book, I've not only have described about this incident, but and about how to be present with emotions, but also about how to bring about more joy and happiness in our daily lives, how to deal with the situations, how to start any practice with small habits, and also about how to increase creativity in whatever field we are. So this is what I would say the book is all about.
I think what you have described will definitely help our readers to go ahead and buy the book and more importantly read it so that there can be a transformation in their life as well. So
That would be
thank
really
you so much
wonderful.
for talking about the book. What are your future plans? What should we expect from you maybe in next 24 months?
Uh-huh. So after the book had been published, of course, at that time, after that for quite a few months, or I would say for a year, then when people would ask me, I said, no, I think I don't think I can write anymore right now. That because there was so much to share. I think I've shared all. But now over last few months, a lot of new ideas have come based on the feedback I've got from readers, and and some other ideas and thoughts and all. So yeah, definitely there's something, thoughts and ideas are there, and
Mm,
hopefully maybe by over next say 6 8 or months or 1 year, I think maybe I'll be able to do some justice to that. So that is one part. And of course I always like to, I like to give talks, especially about mindfulness and being present, and how we can bring those, as I said, those moments of pauses in our lives, how to increase our happiness, how to, have that sense of well-being, because these are the things which really bring me joy. So apart from my profession, whenever I get a chance, I'd like to share all these, small talks wherever I'm going, and just share it with people.
Perfect. I think there is a lot we can look forward from you. So, as part of the show, Doctor, we also have a rapid fire round, and I'm sure we
Absolutely.
have some time. Sanjay is smiling over there, but I think we can squeeze in very quickly. Let's
Yes.
start our rapid fire round, and I am sure you will enjoy it.
Yes, sure.
So, first question: how would you like to be known as, a doctor or a mindfulness coach?
Hmm. I would like to be known as a person who guides people to say yes to life,
Perfect.
to say yes to this moment, to say yes to life. So that is what
Per-
I would like to be known.
Perfect. Your definition of happiness in one sentence.
In It is unconditional acceptance of the present moment.
Perfect. Third question. Complete the sentence. Mind is.
Vast.
Perfect. Your idea of perfect relaxation.
For me, it is, just, I would say, sitting in meditation or mindfulness, especially in area which is one of my favorite hobbies, near a beach. Near
Per-
a beach with the sun and sands, and just, meditating over there. That's my perfect idea.
Perfect. The last question. Your favorite movie.
Favorite movie, I would say it's there's a movie by Shah Rukh Khan, Kabhi Haan Kabhi Na. So that is
Uh,
one of my all-time favorites.
Perfect. Congratulations. You have won the rapid fire round 10 out of 10. So,
Thank you so much, Vardhanji, and thank you for all your wonderful insights and wonderful questions. It made
so
the talk so
thank
wonderful.
you, Doctor. And it was really an interesting and inspiring conversation. Let me now hand over the proceedings to Sanjay.
Yes, thank you so much,
So
Vardhanji.
thank you so much, Dr. Saroj, and thank you so much, Vardhan, for such a wonderful and great conversation. And
Thank you so much, Sanjay ji. I really loved the chat and the all the questions and this show. It was so I hope the readers also get something valuable from it.
so that was Dr. Saroj Dubey. We invite you to read his book, RX for Resilience, that is Prescription for Resilience, and reflect on its gentle yet powerful insights into mindfulness, presence, and the extraordinary strength that can emerge from life's most challenging moments. That brings us to the end of today's episode of the show, presented by Kala, that's crazy about literature and arts in association with Let's Talk. If you missed any part of the conversation, we would be uploading the recording on the YouTube channel at Sanjay Chandra 5376. Thank you for joining us and for being a part of this thoughtful exchange. We look
Thank you
forward to
so
seeing
much.
you again on the show. Until then, take care, stay present, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Goodbye.